All right, hello my kindergartners and my first graders. Today what you are going to need is a piece of paper, and you're also first going to need to go outside and go on a walk. What I'd like for you to do is go around your neighborhood and gather a few things. So I have some flowers down here, and you might notice I also have some different kinds of grasses. What we're looking for are things with different colors and also different textures. And we know that texture is how something feels. So I even have some different colors of greens if you really want to think about it that way. This one is really, really light, and this one is kind of dark, and this one looks a little bit fuzzy, and this one looks pretty smooth. So look, really what we're going to do today is play. So there's a couple ways that you can approach this. And the first way that you can do it is kind of like what we did in kindergarten, where we just used different things and we made silly faces. So I might take some flowers and carefully pull one off. Boop. Boop. And make some eyes. And I can even take my little dandelion and pop that right on the inside, because that would be kind of silly. It would be a little bit better if I could stand them up, I think, so that they could be like that. I think that would be kind of fun. And I think this would be used for something else, though you could use it for eyebrows. We always forget eyebrows. I'm going to take one of my sticks and break it and make eyebrows. And I think I might take one of these silly leaves and make a nose. I have some other ones that I could use to make an ear. And of course we could cut this paper into an oval, but I'm not doing that quite yet. And I kind of like that for the mouth. But you've already made faces before. So instead, I think this time it might be a good idea if you cleared off your paper and you did something else. I'm going to turn my paper this way and see what I can come up with. So since I got these things from outside, I might see if I can make a landscape. And a landscape is something that looks like land. So I have some long grasses here that might look really nice if I turn them into hills. And of course you can glue this down. That would be another way that you could work with these items and turn them into a picture. And even though this feels a whole lot like playing, we learn a lot through play, because we experiment and we figure out what goes right and we figure out what's not going so well. So I've got some cool little hills going on, and these kind of look like, to me, almost like they could be baby trees. So maybe I stick those up. Cute, cute. Okay. Oh, if I had maybe some different colored, maybe I could use this scrap of bark, and if I tear it correctly, maybe it could look a little bit like a cloud up in the sky. I like it. Maybe I'll flip this one the other way. Okay. Ooh. I'm wondering if you have an idea for the dandelion. It looks almost like a circle to me. I think maybe it could be a sun. I think that would be a cute sun. And of course, these little bitty baby leaves could go on and be a tree. Okay, so that's the second way that you can do it. We've got faces that you can make, and then you can make anything. So we know that we can clear this off and we could do it again. Bye-bye landscape. I think I'm going to grab a couple of these red leaves and let's see what I can make with those. I've got a couple medium-sized ones, and I bet, oh, I have an idea. I bet if I took this and added it with this, maybe added on a couple little bitty leaves. Do you know what it is? And a little bitty leaf. Okay, I might have a fish, and I could add some other little things on there too. So there's a third way that you can do this if this interests you. You could keep playing and come up with all kinds of different things, and don't let me stop you. But my last way that you can do this is you could take your paper and fold it in half. Okay, we know when we fold, we take the piece of paper, we match up the corners, match it up, hold it really closely, go down with one hand, go right, go left, open. Cool. Okay, so now that we've got that paper folded in half, I'm going to draw a line down the middle. If you want to glue these items down, all you have to do is get some glue from your box that maybe you still have from last week, and you can glue those items down. So when I've got my glue, I see that my glue is closed because I can see that white dot. I'm going to twist it left so that the dot disappears. Check to see that it's breathing, and I'm good to go. All right, so I've got to decide what I'm going to glue down on one side of the paper. You're not going to glue on both sides. I mean, you could, but I'm not going to. And I really like that landscape that I made. So I'm going to make sure that when I turn it upside down and I go shaka, 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 I'm going to touch before I squeeze. Touch before I squeeze. Little bitty baby glue dots. Size of a ladybug. All right. Scooch that down. We might need to hold and count to 10 like we sometimes do, especially because these things like to wiggle and move. Okay, I think that might stay for just a second. Let's see what else I've got. I like that one because it's got such a nice curve to it. This time I think I might try gluing on the white paper. Touch before you squeeze, touch before you squeeze. And if I let that stay really still, I think it's going to stay. I like these other little doodahs, these other little bee branches. They're really just some little weeds that I pulled out, but I think they're pretty cute. And remember, that glue is mostly going to disappear. Not all the way, but mostly. And of course, if you want anything smaller, just break it. I'm going to glue down my little clouds that I made. Dot, dot, not a lot. One more cloud. Dot, dot, not a lot. If it pops up, just hold it down a little bit more. And I'm going to glue down my sun. I probably need to take away that stem. Okay, cute, cute. All right, so what do you think we're going to do on this other side? If you guessed that we are going to redraw this over here, you would be right. So I'm going to clear off my flowers and my branches so that I have a little bit of room to work. Now, whatever drawing tool you decide that you want to work with, that's fine. That's your choice. I think to start, I'm going to draw with a pencil, and then I might add color with markers and paint with a paintbrush. We know that we can add water and a paintbrush to marker and make it almost like paint. So I'm going to grab my pencil and I'm going to start up here. So when I'm looking at these clouds, I see something that kind of goes like this. Remember that shapes don't always have names. And it's also okay if it's not exactly perfect, because artists, sometimes we need to learn. And this looks like this is going to go off the page. Oh well, that's okay. It's just a cute little sketch. To me, that dandelion still looks like a circle. So I'm just going to give it a quick little circle. I'm going to redraw my ground lines. One goes this way. One goes this way. And one goes that way. And I've got my two little things that I want to be trees. So I'm going to make a line and go up. Make a line and go up. Make some baby lines that go up. And we've done this before. And we also know it doesn't have to be perfect. Just because you're looking over here to draw what's over here doesn't mean it has to look exactly the same. And I might even add some extra stuff over here that I didn't have before. So you can color with crayons if you want to. You can leave it like this if you want to. Or you can add some markers if you want to. And I think I'm going to add just the tiniest bit of marker. And I'm adding marker where I want to choose to add it. I'm going to use it like paint. And so no, I'm not going to color all of it. If we colored all of it with crayons, I would have a whole lot of spot-itis. I would need to go back with my marker and color that in. I've got a couple different colors of green. Let me see what I can do here. And don't worry if I have something here that you don't have. I'm an art teacher. I'm probably going to have more stuff than you do. When I was 5 and 6, I didn't have as much stuff as I do now. And I'm going to use brown, so I'm changing my mind. And artists get to do that. We get to change our minds about some things. Maybe I change the shape of this. Maybe I change the color, and maybe I change both. Oops. Didn't quite hit that. That's okay. So with the branches of my tree, I'm just going to trace over my pencil lines. Okay. Oh, you almost let me forget the sun. I think I'm going to swirl a little bit of orange into there just for fun. Okay. All right. Now in the art room when we did this, we had a paintbrush and water. I do not have a paintbrush and water in front of me. But what I do have are these cool little brushes where you actually take off the lid and there's water inside of here. I don't know if you can see it. And the way the water gets in is you just twist this and open it up like a little bottle and you fill it up. And these are really, really cool. They're pretty handy. Okay. And I'm just using what I had down here. I could go upstairs and get a paintbrush and a cup of water. And if that's what you have, that's going to work exactly the same. But I'm going to start going. And I'm going to start with my sun and blend it around a little bit. Have a little good time. And it doesn't look exactly like the dandelion. And that's okay. Kind of like it. I might decide I want to go over these lines a little bit. I think that might look a little bit nice. And I might add a couple more lines. If I wanted to, I could even add leaves on my trees. There aren't leaves over here, but that doesn't mean that I can't add them over on this side. Okay, and I'm going to go in. And really all I'm doing is kind of coloring in with that paintbrush. There's water already inside of this paintbrush, so I don't really need to dip like you might. I just might have to give a little bit of a squeeze to make the water come out a little bit more. Not a big squeeze, just a baby squeeze. And remember, if you want to add more color with markers, add it in a dry space. Don't add it in a wet space. If you add it in a wet space, you might ruin your markers. They'll work for like a second, but then they kind of get ruined. And I'm going to leave that open like that. And now I'm going to go in and just do my sky. Okay. I hope that you have a good time on your walk today. It's beautiful outside. It's not supposed to rain. And I hope that you find some really good treasures on your walk. Pick up anything that's interesting. And just because I glued it down doesn't mean that you have to glue it down. You can just keep playing all day long. All right. I am just about finished. So you decide which of the 3 ways you want to work with your materials from nature today. All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.